Hello. Apologies for the delay. I've had yet another technical glitch. It looks like when I prepped the phone earlier for this live guidance where I put in the headline and I counted the days and made sure I knew which the dates were for this next week, I accidentally put the phone on airplane mode. So when I clicked go live, there was no internet connection. Luckily, this technical glitch I was able to sort out fairly quickly. So I'm here with you today, almost on time, and I'm ready for this next week's guidance, or at least I think I am. Our spirit says I am. I'll be very honest, I'm feeling a little bit frazzled today. I think the staying indoors most of the day and not meeting up with any of my friends is getting to me at times. I'm very much staying in touch with my friends, and we're talking on the phone and we're using things like Zoom, and I'm very grateful that that's possible. But even as I'm saying it now, I feel a little bit tearful. I miss my friends very much, and I guess I miss talking in person. I miss giving them a hug when we meet, when they tell me things, when I tell them things, at least as an option. So I'm very happy to be with you here today. I'm very much looking forward to this live guidance. I know many of you feel uplifted when they watch it or after they've watched it. I certainly feel uplifted whenever I have delivered it, because it makes me clear my mind and tune into spirit, but also connect with you guys, which is absolutely amazing. So I'm very grateful that you're here with me today, and I have prepared 1, 2, 3 oracle decks for our theme cards for the week, and my fantastical tarot. We're going to have 1 card for each weekday, and I have my angel number book. We're going to read an angel number I have pre-selected, but by chance, and also we're going to look at a crystal. So let's get stuck in. I think we're going to start with this deck. Now this time I have 2 decks by Leanne Peters, who is the founder of the Temple of Balance in Tasmania. I have all of her card decks to date, and these are, I believe, her first 2. So we're going to first start with the healing energy cards. I'll give you a little look at these as well. This is what they look like. Amazing. So we've got very pink cards here. Let's see what the first card for the theme for the week is. Hello, if you're watching. Sadly, I can't see till afterwards. My phone is turned the other way, but I love any of your likes, shares, comments. Please let me know that you're here. Say hello. Send me some love. I'm very, very happy that you're watching. I'm very, very much looking forward to deliver some guidance for you. Let's see what comes up for this next week. So we're going to go from Friday the 3rd of April to Thursday the 9th of April next week. And our first theme card is ready. I'll put the other cards away so I don't get them mixed up. And we have, wow. I don't know if you can read that, but it says self-confrontation. Have courage to look in the mirror. Come out of hiding. Love of self. Self-reflect. Be proud of who you are. Be real about how you feel and what you see, so you can fully heal. Well, I think I was quite real about what I was feeling right at the beginning of this recording. I have done some decluttering today, and I went through lots of photographs, some of them from a very long time ago. Some of them brought up a lot of difficult emotion. So yes, I'm feeling a bit fragile following that, but I did really good work today. It was very confrontational. I did manage to discard some. There is more I still need to go through, maybe tomorrow and Friday So as I'm looking at this picture, the first thing that stood out to me was the unlimited symbol at the top, the eternity symbol. Sorry if you can hear my phone receiving messages. I also forgot to switch off the sound. Please do forgive me. And I can see somebody's eye. I don't know if it's a man or a woman, but there is an eye that's looking at me. And actually feels like it's looking through me, or it's looking right into me. So I guess that goes quite beautifully with the words on this card. Self-confrontation number 42. We'll see if we come back to this later. For now, I'm going to carry on with the next card. Now, there is another deck by Liam Peters coming up, but we're going to use the other one in between. I have, due to popular demand, I'm back with the Romance Angel deck by Doreen Virtue. So we're going to have one of those as a theme for the week as well. So if any of you have any questions or need some guidance about relationships, this deck is specifically for romantic relationships, whether you are in a romantic relationship at the moment or whether you would like to be in a romantic relationship in future, or whether you would like to improve your relationship with yourself, considering we've started with self-confrontation. Let's see, oh, this card totally offered itself, and we have new love. Oh, well, that sounds very promising. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. Wow. Or maybe is going to next week, because we're looking at the week ahead. So some of you may have already met this person. Some of you may meet this person next week, and some of you may already be in a romantic relationship, and the energy will shift so much that it will feel as if you are with a new person, which is also quite amazing. So, the last theme card for the week, oops, these are upside down. I don't really like working with upside down cards. If it happens by accident, then I very much accept that it was meant to be, but I will not on purposely use cards upside down if I see it before I've even shuffled properly. So I'm just going to turn these back. I think my son helped shuffle these earlier, and he has a different approach. I asked him to pick our crystal for the week again, and he said no, he didn't fancy it. And that's really important with children, especially to respect that. They're very, very intuitive, and they're very amazing for spiritual work, but they are children, so they're not meant to be working yet. So if they don't feel like doing something, it's best to leave them and ask them again another time. So we're going to shuffle these. Now, these are the Temple of Balance Oracle cards. And let's have a really, really good shuffle. And see, I'm actually going to close my eyes for these ones. I literally don't want to look. I'm just going to blindly draw a card. I often draw cards in the middle, but not always. This one is more to the right. I'm very curious to see, this is my special word, isn't it, curious, what this card is going to be. I'm going to show you first before I look at it today. So you already can see what the last theme card is. I'm going to have a look myself now. We have Hawk Messenger. Pay attention to the whispers of Hawk. Listen to everything to find the clue. Now, I feel the first thing that struck me is the colouring is very similar to the first card again. It's very brown and earthy. And again, we have this eye here in the self-confrontation, and here we have the hawk's eye. Now, the hawk's eye is absolutely everything. So it feels like this is coming as a support in order to successfully finish this phase of self-confrontation. Surely one can't do all self-confrontation all in one go. That would be really depressing, I think, for most people. But, oh wow, isn't he just looking back this way, and there's this other eye, and they're meeting each other's gaze. And in the middle we have, oops, Yes, and I've knocked it over. And in the middle, we have this new love entering in the middle of this self-confrontation. So it does look like it's going to open something up. There is maybe a way we can, through this self-confrontation, we can be more open to love again. For those who have been finding it a bit tricky lately. I'm going to have to move these books up here, otherwise I don't have enough space for my tarot cards. I'm going to move over a bit as well. I hope you can still see me. I won't find out till afterwards. I have this weekly, you could call it fun time, where I watch back the video I made, not only to read your comments, but also to look at the setup of the space and whether I'm actually fully in the picture, whether I'm still hanging over the camera when the recording starts. All kinds of fun things happen until I get a different setup where I can actually see what's happening as I'm recording. But I have faith that if you're watching this, you're not watching this for my technical expertise. You're watching this for my expertise in divining your guidance, which I do have a lot more than the technical side. So I'm having a really good shuffle here of the tarot deck. Hello, if you've just started watching or if you're watching the replay, I'm so happy you're here for this weekly guidance. I'm very excited to see. We've got a very interesting theme for the week already come up here. I'm curious to see what the tarot cards are going to be to go with this. So we're going to need 7 cards, one for each weekday. Oh, here's my cherry quartz that I put back on today. This is actually the self-love crystal, so that again matches quite nicely what's happening there. Sorry, I went a bit quiet there. I really had to concentrate on drawing the right cards. So we've got Friday the 3rd, Saturday the 4th, Sunday the 5th, Monday the 6th, Tuesday the 7th, Wednesday the 8th, and Thursday the 9th. If I push these further back, I wonder if we can fit the cards more easily, or if I'm just going to knock everything over again. Let's see. Little bit. Let's have a look at Friday, and we have Judgment now. So the Judgment card, number 20, it shows an angel blowing the horn, so that people may begin, interestingly enough, a full assessment of everything they have learned to date in this whole life. It's an assessment of everything so far. It is the penultimate card in the major arcana, with the last one being the World card, which is a successful completion of a whole cycle. So the Judgment comes in just before, where it's really important, before we move on to the next phase in life, to really understand what it is we've learned in the last one and what we are leaving behind, so that we don't fall back into it once the new phase has started. So that's the theme for Friday. Let's have a look at Saturday, and we have the Queen of Wands. Now, she is my favorite queen. If I can choose which of the 4 queens in tarot to be, I always go for the Queen of Wands. She is very good at business. She's very good with her career, and she's very fully on her spiritual path in life. She does well for herself without acting ethically or morally irresponsibly. She has integrity. She is good with people. She's clever. She will not allow people to walk all over her, but whenever possible, she will be kind and compassionate in the way she interacts with people. So certainly something I aspire to always. And that's the card we've got for Saturday. So that means on Saturday, maybe a time after this assessment period on Friday, where you will really be able to step into this Queen of Wands mode. Or for some of you, a Queen of Wands, a person who's like the Queen of Wands, may enter your life or re-enter your life and support you at this time. So that's come up for Saturday. Let's have a look at Sunday. And we have the World. Isn't that flowing beautifully? So, where I was just saying with the Judgment card, that's the last card, number 20, before 21, the successful completion, the World. And here is the World with a little Queen of Wands interlude in between, the World for Sunday. So the World literally means getting the world, as in getting everything you want, everything you've been pursuing. It's this successful completion for a whole phase of life and the green light to go ahead with a new project or a new relationship for the next phase of your life. It looks beautiful how it is, like an explosion of light. Maybe that's like the Big Bang, where all the worlds and planets and everything, the universe comes from in the middle. So that's for Sunday. Let's have a look at Monday. And we have 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands shows a man, especially in this deck, by most decks I believe, that I've seen. It shows a man juggling 5 wands. Now, it often comes at times where there is quite a lot of competition at work, or there's quite a lot going on. This man has to juggle 5 different wands simultaneously. However, he seems to be quite good at it. So most likely he's finding this quite stimulating rather than overwhelming. So on Monday, it may be that in terms of career, the pace might pick up. Or maybe in terms of your spiritual journey. And for many people, that's interlinked, at least at times. It's making me think of the Hawk, I have to say. So maybe a message will come in on Monday for some of you. It says, listen to everything to find the clue. So maybe some interesting clue will come about on Monday. Let's have a look at Tuesday. And we have, 6 of Cups. So we have a succession from 20 to 21. Now we have a succession from 5 to 6. It's not the same suit. We have Wands and Cups. The 6 of Cups shows a woman who is treasuring one of her cups in particular. It's a card that often relates to the past. It's often called nostalgia. It can go all the way back to childhood. It can refer to memories from the past, relationships from childhood, or childhood sweethearts coming back into your life, or simply us remembering these relationships. It definitely has a sentimental feeling to it for Tuesday. This woman very much looks like she's gone inside of herself to treasure the memory of this relationship from the past, or simply how things used to be when she was a little girl. I almost feel like she's going through her favorite childhood memories. I wonder if Tuesday will be another day to look through some of my photographs. Definitely the most difficult things to declutter are the sentimental things. Let's have a look at Wednesday. We have the Ace of Wands. Perfect. It's interesting how there is a theme of this is kind of an action card, and then something moves forward and we get the World, and then there is an action card, and then this is going more inside again. And then we have an Ace. Aces are big new beginnings. And I guess we have Wands twice before here. So a new beginning in the area of Wands kind of has been brewing together. Ones are challenges we get presented from the divine, challenges that we are deemed ready for, and considering we have this big judgment and successful completion, it makes sense that a new beginning follows on from that. Ace of Wands is a new beginning in career, and also in spiritual journey. Occasionally it can represent the birth of a child, because that would then be the wand that the child is born with. Each person is born with their own wand in life, as much as one of each of the other suits. So there may be a career change on the horizon for some of you. There may be a new job offer, or you may simply start to take things in a new direction, either in employment or in self-employment. Some of you may even start self-employment. It's a very auspicious card. Like I said, aces only get presented to us from the divine if we are deemed ready to embrace these new challenges. So we've got one more card. This was for Wednesday. We have got one more card for Thursday. Oh, Knight of Swords. That's our first sword in this reading. And Knight of Swords, knights in tarot come for situations where there's movement and action, and swords come for things to do with thinking and logic. And the Knight of Swords in particular comes for situations that move really fast and suddenly, and it can almost feel like a whirlwind that where we have to wait till the dust has settled until we know exactly what has actually happened. The colouring is very similar to this World card, so I do feel like it may be connected to this energy. There is a successful completion of a whole phase, and maybe with this new beginning, once we accept this new beginning, once we accept this new one, things might then happen very quickly, which sounds really fascinating and interesting. I do still want to read the Hawk card. I feel like we will get some additional insight because that is part of our theme for the week. He doesn't have a number, so it must be alphabetical. I do know the alphabet, I promise. Here it is. Pay attention to the whispers of Hawk. Listen to everything around and within you to find clues. Hawk will help you see where you are going. So that really helps with this Ace of Wands and things happening really quickly. Hawk will be very useful. Stretching his wings, Hawk encourages you to do the same, inspiring you to stretch to the very limits of manifestation and beyond. I can totally see why we have to start with this self-confrontation, because without that, we're not going to have this big assessment and big completion of a whole level, because that's part of it. This is about leaving some parts of ourselves behind that have been getting in the way of us moving forward. If you would like to use Leanne's affirmation with that, it is, I am open to the messages I am receiving via my intuition. That is a beautiful, timeless affirmation. You could always use that and it would always serve you well. I'm going to just have a little drink here. Hello, if you've just started watching, I'm so happy you're here. Just having my herbal remedy that I take every day. So I said I would also choose a crystal again to help us for this week, if you like to work with crystals. But before then, I also chose an angel number. And today we've got quite a low number from this lovely angel book by Doreen Virtue. You may have noticed that unlike some other readers, I don't shy away from still using the beautiful resources I bought of hers before she changed her mind about the way she works. I still love using them, and I know they were made with love, and they're just as valid as they always were. The number that came up for today is number 34, and it says, Ascended masters and angels are here with you. Talk to them frequently about your feelings and thoughts and listen to their replies, which come to you as repetitive impressions, signs, and inner signals. And we did have that message about Hawk and really being open to taking in the messages and receiving all the messages. So that aligned very beautifully. I love when these things come together like that. And then we're also going to look at the crystal that came out for today. Last week we had opal. Oh, and Stonehenge has come to me twice today. I was looking through my photographs earlier today and I found a couple of photographs of Stonehenge that looked a lot like this without the fence around it, because the first time I went there is a long time ago and there was no fence and you could just walk up to the stones and touch them. So I've already seen some photographs I took myself from Stonehenge, and this reading mark must be from another time I visited there. Very interesting that it came to me twice within a matter of a few hours. And and I didn't notice when I first used it as a reading mark, but I noticed now. So the crystal that has come up for today, again chosen intuitively at random by just opening the book, is malachite. And I'm going to show you the picture. It's the crystal lower down, the green one. The one on top is a different kind of crystal. Malachite is green. It's this one down here. I'm going to read to you a bit about malachite. It says, malachite is one of the minerals that is surrounded with myths and legends. In the Ural Mountains in central Russia, it was dedicated to the Lady of the Copper Mountains, a personification of Venus whose rather ambiguous favours brought either bad or good luck to the malachite miners. Nobody was quite sure whether it was right to accept the gifts of this goddess, so in many cases wealth brings nothing but unhappiness. Some of those who declined to accept her gift went away happy and contented. This is probably an indication of the balancing justice of creation. Malachite was always a woman's mineral and was always dedicated to a goddess in whatever culture. In Egypt to Hathor, in classical times to Aphrodite or Venus, in Northern Europe to Freya. Malachite represented seduction, sensuality, beauty, curiosity, aesthetics and the arts of the muses. It was considered to be the stone of paradise, which later was represented as meaning we mortals ought to avoid it. It still has a scent of, I don't even want to read this last bit. Okay, I'm not liking the word that was coming up here. Healing with malachite. Spiritually, malachite encourages an appreciation of aesthetic, sensuality and beauty, friendship and justice. It helps us imagine ourselves in the position of others and to emphasize with them, sense their thoughts and feelings. Well, this certainly I can relate to that at the moment. Maybe like many of you, I am at home 24/7 with my family, and I love my family very much, and I very much hope they really love me too. I'm sure they do, but we're not used to spending quite that much time together, and I'm finding it at times a bit challenging. So using malachite to find it easier to emphasize with other people's positions may definitely be useful to me. I have to dig one out somewhere. I used to have a really big one that I gave away some time ago. Emotionally, malachite stimulates inner imagery. Dreams, imagination and memories become alive and real. Suppressed feelings are suddenly brought out into the open. Malachite takes away inhibition and encourages the expression of feelings. I like it very much. Oh, not the next bit. It says, old pain and traumas may surface and be dissolved if we are in a position to face them. And we are back to self-confrontation. Oops, and I've dropped it. That's how much I'm not keen on it. In the face of honesty here, I'm not that keen on self-confrontation. I'm not sure how many people are. However, I know how fruitful it is. It has been for me every single time I have allowed myself to go there. So I will and am going to do it again. Mentally, malachite strengthens the understanding of concepts. We are in a position to absorb information more quickly as the imagination makes us strong and aware of how to handle it. Physically, malachite dissolves cramp. It helps with menstruation problems and facilitates labor. In addition, malachite encourages the development of the female sexual organs and heals their ailments. Malachite stimulates liver activity, has a detoxifying effect, alleviates rheumatism, and helps reduce acidification of the tissues. It also stimulates the nerves and brain activity. It says here it will be sufficient to carry it around or lay it directly on the body. It has a very pronounced effect and should be taken in very low doses to begin with if you're not used to it. So, I've got all these cards stuck to my arm today. So that was our crystal suggestion for this upcoming week. So this looks like it's going to be a fruitful week, but it will come at a price. The price is self-confrontation and really being willing to take the message that's coming from the divine, that's coming from our intuition, even if that message is that there is something in ourselves that we need to confront and maybe to move on from, so that we're open to accept this new love of ourselves and maybe also from another person coming in. So what a very interesting week coming up. I would love for you to share with me if this reading resonates with what is happening in your life. If you feel like sharing, if you don't feel like sharing, I would also love it if you just said hello so I know you're here. If you give me a like, send me some love. Thank you so much. I will, as most weeks, I manage to upload my weekly guidance to my YouTube channel, which is Indigo Owl. So you should be able to catch a replay there. You can always watch a replay here on Facebook as well. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am going to say namaste. And have an amazing week. Goodbye.